Hi, my name is Danae Sheikh and I'm a junior in getting my teaching certification in EC through 6. I'm going to give a brief summary of my experience with math in elementary, middle, and high school. Math and I have always had a really positive relationship. It was undoubtedly my favorite subject from my public school career. I know that a lot of people struggle in their relationship with math, but that is not my story. I would illustrate my relationship with math to an airplane, starting from accelerating on the runway all the way to takeoff and then through a constant soaring high in the sky. In elementary school, I was lucky enough to have a really good foundation of math laid down for me. Each of my teachers portrayed positive attitudes about math, thus transferring this feeling to me. I remember in 1st through 4th grade doing a lot of the kill and drill type methods. I remember we would have speed contests with our multiplication tables each week. I learned my times tables, but my only incentive was to beat my classmates, not to learn. I don't remember being presented with many math problem-solving situations, just lots of equations. I don't ever remember doing any group or collaborative work with my classmates. I also don't remember being able to make the connection that math is all around me. I viewed math as a subject completely restricted to my classroom. My 5th grade teacher was the first one who actually challenged me. She thrived to make her students think outside of the box, and she wanted us to discover our own limits. In reference to my airplane analogy, elementary school was the accelerating that happens on the runway right before takeoff. I was gaining a lot of speed and momentum, and my front wheels just lifted off the ground. I knew I had the fuel and strength to take me further upward. My overall attitude in middle school math was the desire to discover and acquire more knowledge. My 6th grade teacher didn't challenge me, and I felt the class was too easy. 7th and 8th grade were my first encounters with the mathematical beast that was algebra. These classes separated the math lovers from the math loathers. Algebra teachers are very meticulous and exact on how neatly the problems are done. This was the subject that I realized I wanted to be a teacher, a math teacher. Our teachers had us do lengthy word problems. Up until this point, math and English were kept as two very separate entities. Within my analogy, middle school is where the plane is ascending to new heights and figuring out the direct path and direction it needs to be traveling on. Through learning algebra, my engines fired rapidly and took me higher. High school is where I thrived like I did not know that I ever could. We used a lot of manipulatives and tools in geometry, which I enjoyed because it provided a real-world element that I was sometimes missing. I returned to my love of algebra sophomore year, and we did a lot of multi-step word problems. I then fell completely in love with pre-calculus and the unit circle. Senior year was the climax of my mathematics career. I took AP Calculus as an elective. Sounds crazy, I know, but I wanted to take it for fun. I had the most intelligent teacher ever, so that coupled with a great subject resulted in unparalleled confidence and success. We would start by learning a rule, and then we would break into groups with a packet of context-rich scenarios that were terrifyingly difficult. This was the first time that I had to grapple more with my answers, which was frustrating but ended up making me grow enormously. I took the calculus AP test at the end of the year and ended up scoring a 5 on it, which was the highest increment you could make. And I was so proud of myself and my teachers who had pushed me the ways they had. They fed my mind and catered to my inner math nerd. My plane at this point was soaring above the clouds and I was cruising, happy where I ended up in my math career, and now I'm excited to share my knowledge with my future students because I feel like that will also take me to new heights and let me encounter new challenges. As I think about my math experience, I wonder why it took so long for my teachers to introduce real-life situations and problems. Presenting a problem or situation and then incorporating math into finding the answer seems like a more real way to teach. Otherwise, where's the relevance? Why do I need to know how to do all of these equations if I don't see them in the world? Teachers lose students quickly if the students don't see the relevance. I also wonder why we didn't do group work until my upper high school years. The teacher is not the only knowledge holder in the classroom, so why is the teacher getting to hold all the power? I hope that when I'm teaching students math, I don't hold all of the cards. I want to guide them to their own discoveries. I want math to be fun and challenging. Our future students are going to need us to be super relevant and meaningful in the ways that we teach them, and I hope that I can be flexible and creative enough to bend the ways my students are pushing me. I will be one of the influence of math that my students have, and they will hold that with them for years to come, just as I have demonstrated in this presentation. I also hope that my students will be able to use such a powerful metaphor as an airplane when describing their own math history. I will close with this quote from Stan Gutter. "The essence of mathematics is not to make simple things complicated, but to make complicated things simple."